Hey everybody, we're back again for our next topic, and what we're going to be talking about now is egos and girls getting too big.
Are saying they do.
Yeah, which
By
they
going to
don't.
the gym.
For the record, they don't. I've seen girls that are too big, and they're very few and in between.
And they try too hard to get that
Yeah,
big.
I rarely ever see that. I've ran into one in person. Scared the shit out of me. I don't remember where that was at. It was some public event.
Yeah.
We crossed paths, and I was like, "Go ahead."
All right.
That's it. It's only one.
So, what we got here is kind of this gym stereotypes and stuff. Like, I'm sick of these guys walking around like this all the time. Like, look at me, I'm a big man. I do heavy weight with shitty form all the time. I'm sick of that. Like, I have seen absolutely humongous people at the Arnold Classic, anywhere, everywhere, that don't walk around like this. Like, gorillas don't even walk around like that.
There's no reason to have your arms out like that. You can't get big enough. Because for one thing, your lats are part of your back, which is behind your arm. Your arms don't rest on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't make any sense. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason unless you're paralyzed in that position.
Unless your armpit's really stinking, you're trying to air them out a little bit or something. I mean,
reason. It doesn't happen.
It's just stupidity, and I'm so done with that, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So,
I mean, there's if you do get that big where you think you're like that, you know, some guys really are big, but still no reason to do that. But another thing that kind of feeds into that is their egos. Just be humble. If you walk around acting like a cocky prick, acting like you're better than everybody else, even if you do look better than everybody else, it doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna want to talk to you or be around you if you got an attitude like
shitty
that.
personality.
Right? It doesn't matter. You just lost my respect and probably everybody else's, no matter how good you are. No matter how much you can lift or how good you look. It doesn't fucking matter. So just be humble about it. Be respectful to everybody. If your goal is to get fans, you'll probably get a lot more by being nice to them.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. You know, help as many people as, if you are that way, help as many people as you can, you know. You know, when I was a kid, you know, it didn't matter celebrities, if I liked them, it wasn't based on how strong they were or how good they looked. It was, you know, how they interacted with your fans. If you go to a concert or somebody, if you meet somebody famous, you think they're cool because they were nice to you and they talked to you, and that you just became a much bigger fan of them because you got to meet them and they reached out to you and were respectful to you, and they just went up a few notches in your book. And that's just how it works here, you know. If somebody wants to talk to you, you talk to them, or you don't act like a cocky prick, you know. It doesn't work that way, and there's no reason to do it.
Lots of times these people walk up to you, they're actually looking up to you, so people will forget you for what you've done, people will forget you for what you said, but people will never forget you for the way you treated them. So
I've seen guys that I competed against or watched at shows, and I had very much respect for them until I met them, talked to them in person, and follow them on social media, whatever. And I started to realize, yeah, they're pretty much just into themselves a little too much. So they kind of lose your respect after that. And you know, I don't care how good they look. You know, they might know their stuff, they might not. I don't know, but I'd rather follow the people that are genuinely kind to you, or just humble people in general. That's the kind. I don't know. That's just me. That's the kind of people I like to be around. You know, just cut the bullshit and you know, just be respectful because everybody's in it for the same reason. You know, just take care of yourself and support each other. A lot of people say they do, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm just going out to motivate others," and they'll take a bunch of selfies and shit. And it's like, dude, you're not motivating anybody. You're just showing off. You know, I don't know.
And which leads me to my next biggest. This is my biggest peeve. I hate this one. And I don't like to use the word hate, but if I don't hate it, I very, 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 very dislike it. It's when women tell me, like, oh, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get too big. I don't want to look like a man. you're not gonna get big and look like a man if you go in the gym and lift weights. Those girls that you see though in all these like fitness magazines and like bodybuilding shows, and those girls try to look that big. That is not a God-given thing. Those girls work their asses off.
Shit, they
way
probably-
harder than him and I even work out.
Yeah.
Because
They're probably on some hardcore stuff too. And
Because-
they really have to try probably even harder than guys.
yeah, because they weren't born with the
There's
testosterone.
guys that try that hard and don't even get anywhere because they don't know what they're doing.
And
But
like girls, like God did not give them the kind of stuff, the tools that He gave guys to get that big. With some girls, 1 in 20 might naturally like be a big
yeah,
girl,
as far
like
as genetics goes, but there's not very many.
not ripped, shredded 6-pack like a man and huge veiny arms, you know. Those girls that say, "Oh, if I gain too much weight though, I might gain too much weight though because muscle weighs more than fat." Who gives a shit about what you weigh? You don't go into a bar. Hey guys, look at what I weigh on the scale. You know, they don't do that. You could be 160 pounds and look like you're 135.
I never ask a girl how much she weighs, but there's some that just openly say it on the internet or whatever, and they're more than what I would ever guess. And I never really guess a girl's weight anyway because I don't really care.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there's some fine-looking women that weigh more than you think, and they have a little bit of muscle too. All right, don't be afraid. I mean, put a little meat on. It's okay. You don't have to look like.
Get them nice legs, that nice round bubble butt, and
Yeah, trust me, you're not gonna put on too much muscle.
but
Even guys don't even do that.
no,
most of the time.
those girls that are getting that big take serious supplements, testosterone boosters, estrogen blockers. They get up every 4 hours of the night to eat a snack that helps them continue gaining muscle.
I honestly
like,
don't even know how they do it.
they set alarms so they wake up and those girls bust their asses off, literally.
I don't even know why they would want to,
Yeah,
but to
it's
each their own.
Yep.
But yeah, I won't say any names, but I know some.
I have a lot of respect
Personally-
for them type of women because that's a lot of hard work. Trust me. And
They put in some work, and they still look damn good. I have the utmost respect for them, but don't be afraid to. I mean, that doesn't mean you gotta lift the baby weights and run on the treadmill, all right? Because you don't want to put on too much muscle.
you don't have to
be
do.
afraid to lift.
You don't have to
weights.
do that CrossFit shit. You know, like it's.
All right, that's a whole other topic.
That's all I got to say about it too. Just
But
don't be afraid to get in there and lift
You
some
can
weights.
lift heavy.
Ask
Trust me.
people if
I've
you don't know how to
seen
lift.
dudes lift heavy weights and they don't get big. All right, you can lift heavy. It's okay.
Don't be afraid to push yourself.
You can be strong without being big. And
So-
even if you do try and get big, it probably won't happen that easily. You know, don't be afraid to eat some meat. You know, put on a little something. It takes a lot of work even for guys.
Hey,
if you do it naturally,
and-
you're not gonna get too bulky. Trust me.
And if you think about it, if you're building muscle eats fat, you're going to have a faster
Yeah.
metabolism. So muscle is so much more attractive than body fat.
Oh, it is.
So, I mean,
Even on girls, dude. I'm not saying you have to. Man, I love girls that. I've never even been with a girl that had muscles, but I mean, it's a plus. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
to me as long as she takes care of herself. I don't really care what she does.
155 pounds of flabby or 155 pounds of muscle, I would choose the muscle in a heartbeat because that muscle is just,
Right.
healthy is attractive.
Yep.
And
Like we said before, the number as far as your body weight goes does not matter. I remember it was about a year or two. I had reached my highest at that time was 193 pounds, and I had a decent. To somebody else, it wouldn't be much, but to me, I know it's a big difference. I had more body fat on me than I've ever had, and I was only 193 pounds, and I weigh
Duke, quit it.
I weigh about the
Knock
same
off.
now, and I'm a lot leaner, so it changes.
Oh, boy.
The highest I ever weighed was 201. That was probably about with the same amount of body fat. So, you can have two different weights and look the same, or vice versa. You could have different weight or the same weight and have a completely different look as far as your height goes and things like that. So don't worry, just focus on what's in the mirror. You know, if that's what your goal is to look good, focus on what's on the mirror. Forget about the scale. I don't even honestly, I don't even really weigh myself much anymore because I don't really give a crap. You know, you can try and force yourself. You know, my goal was to bulk up to 220 or 230 and cut down or whatever. I couldn't even put on that weight. You know, I've always had trouble. I don't want to get that fat, and I couldn't put on the muscle that fast because I know where my natural weight is, and you just have to accept it. And I think as you get older, like in your 30s and stuff, you reach muscle maturity. So I might put on a few more pounds naturally, easier, just because I'm older that way. Just how it happens, and just accept it as it comes. But there's no sense in forcing it. It's just going to overwhelm yourself, and that's kind of why I cut back on it, because I really wasn't getting where I wanted to be. And I just had to accept where I was at and just go with the flow. And, you know, you can't force it that hard. You know, I know guys that'll take in twice as much protein as me, and they still look the same.
Mm-hmm.
You're just wasting a shitload of money.
Wasting your money.
So you just gotta take it at your own pace and how your body functions. Otherwise, you're gonna kill your organs off.
Main thing is to not try to lift for somebody else though either. Don't look in the mirror and be like, oh, I want to look good for my boyfriend, or I want to look good for my girlfriend.
When shit hits the fan, then you're just gonna be not motivated anymore because that's the only reason you did it. Do it for
do
you.
Do it for yourself.
Nobody else. That's that's why I started. When I first started, I quit hanging out with the party crowd, and I was literally spending my Fridays and Saturday nights in the gym by myself because nobody else goes on the weekends, and just doing my own thing for a while until I met him, actually. And worked out pretty good because we have the same interests and stuff like that. But you just gotta kind of stand up for yourself and do what's best for you, and then you'll be a lot more successful with it. I will promise you that.
Yeah. And I get it all the time. Like, why? They're like, Tyler, why do you lift? Like, you're not in sports anymore. You're
even if you don't have to compete in anything or be in any sports. I didn't really do shit for sports, and just do it for yourself. If that takes what you're interested in, if you just want to just make your daily quality of life better throughout your day, just going to work, your general health, if that's it, so be it. That's all the reason I don't do anything else with it now.
When people ask me that, like, why do you lift? Like, you're getting sore and it's hard for you to work, and you're getting older. Why are you doing that anymore? You're not in sports. And it actually got me thinking about, why am I doing this? Like, why? And then I sat down and I was thinking, I'm like, in the gym, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it for myself. I want to be the best version of myself as I could be for the love of God, for God's creation. I want to be the best I could be.
A lot of it's a mental thing. If you can apply it to other things in life, and when I'm struggling with something else, it might not make sense to you unless you've actually experienced it. Well, when I'm struggling with something else, I can think back to when I was struggling, with something I was doing in my fitness world, I guess you could say, and I can apply it to that, and it'll help me mentally to overcome obstacles and things like that. So sometimes when you don't really understand, and that could apply to anything you do. If there's something you take interest in and you have struggles with it and you overcome those obstacles, you can apply that, whether it's any sport you play or anything you like to do. You can apply that to everything else if you think about it. Just put it into perspective and kind of switch things around a little bit and go from there. So it's a big mental thing. Just makes you feel good in general.
So
there's no other reason you should be doing it except for yourself.
Correct.
So don't worry about what anybody else thinks if they say you're too big or whatever. Or fuck them. You don't got time for that shit. You ain't got time for that kind of people in your life. If they have an opinion about you, whatever. But don't ever worry about it. If you want to do something, do it for yourself. If you don't want to do it, so be it. So they can do their own thing, and we can do ours, and go from there.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. So.
Hopefully this one wasn't too long of a video.
I hope not. So we'll go on to our next subject. And
Alrighty.
we'll wrap this up. Thank
All
you.
right. Have a good one, guys.